The perfect cleanse and reboot for a healthy immune system. 100% natural. Miracle Food is suitable for all ages. Get your Miracle Food today.
Alright, peace, y'all. Peace. In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down something that's very important to humanity. I'm gonna be breaking down the media's manipulation and the Delta, all right, and the introduction of the new God. Okay. Now, a lot of y'all may or may not be familiar with some of the things that I'm going to explain, but I had to do a lot of connecting the dots. All right. So I apologize for the video coming out late, but what I'm about to explain to y'all will give you a clearer understanding of what's really going on. All right. So when we looking at the aspect, all right, of the New World Order, all right, the Annuit Conceptus, right, this new beginning, this new start, all right, where their whole plan is to bring in this new God, all right, for humanity to worship, all right, and those that don't comply with the rules of this God, all right, will be removed or banished, okay, from this earth, all right. But these are the things that we have to be very sure and aware of, okay, because it's not a joke out here, all right. So we're gonna start off, okay, with the sign of the Delta, okay. Now, when we discussing the Delta is basically the triangle symbol. All right. Some may associate this with secret societies or fraternities and things of that nature. Some may even associate it with the eye on the back of the dollar bill. But we're going to get into this. All right. I'm going to get into all of this. All right. So let's look at the definition of the Delta. All right. So the Delta is the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet, all right, transliterated as the letter D, all right. But if we pay attention to this triangle here, all right, we notice that it has a cap at the top, right? The same cap that the pyramids have in Egypt, and the same cap is located on the back of the dollar bill with the eye, okay, the eye levitating above it. Now, some may assume that this eye on the back of the dollar bill is associated with Osiris, but this is actually the manipulation, okay? This is the manipulation here because they've manipulated this, all right? This eye here does not represent Osiris, all right? These people here use these type of things in a negative manner, all right, to mislead the people. But this eye is a representation of the new God, all right, that they want all men to worship. Now, to some people may say, well, is this new God created? Has it been here? What is the case, all right? If we look at the history of the dollar bill, right, we know that this bill has been here for a long period of time, all right? So I would go on to say that this God is not a new God to them, all right, but will be a new God to us, all right? So when we look at these political politicians and these presidents and things of that nature and assume that these people will be depicted as the new God, no, all right? They're going to usher in a new form of God that all people will praise. This goes into transhumanism, the aspect of removing God. Okay, so I want you guys to be prepared for a lot of this stuff, and I'm going to break down what this new God representation is when I get through some of these things here. All right, so now from this, I depicted from the fourth letter of the Greek language that came up with the inscription of the delta sign, right? But when we go to the Georgia Guidestones, all right, on number 4, okay, number 4 on the Georgia Guidestones is the rule, all right? Rule, passion, okay, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason, okay? So now, when they say rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason, this is the construction of ruling, okay? Ruling over your faith, all right? Your passions, okay? Your traditions, everything that you believed in that may cause confusion, okay? Some of us argue over whose religion is right and whose religion is wrong. This is a prime factor of them removing that, okay, and ruling over that, all right, by ushering in this new God, all right? So when we pay very close attention to these things and connect the dots, because we know that they play on a numerical scale, all right? So when we analyze how a lot of these people tend to stray towards the gematria aspect of things, I understand that, all right? Because these people do play with numbers, all right? But we must pay very close attention to how they transpire or how they conduct themselves, all right? Also, I want to point out number 3 of the Georgia Guidestones. It says, unite humanity with a living new language, okay? So this is going to be our way of discussion. Now, when we talk about a new language, all right, we can easily break this down, all right, into being the age of technology, all right? Technology, the age of new language would be the age of information, okay? Communicating through digital aspect, all right? Typing, texting, all right? Video chat, things of that nature, all right? New language, all right? A new way of speaking and communicating, all right? So we have to pay very close attention to the things that they're doing in front of us, which will define as change, all right? Now, I'm going to talk about Mr. Schwab here. Okay, Mr. Schwab here mentioned in the 4th Industrial Revolution. Okay, I'm going to read this off to you guys very quickly. In the end, it all comes down to people and values. We need to shape a future that works for us all by putting people first and empowering them, all right? In its most pessimistic, dehumanized form, the 4th Industrial Revolution may indeed have the potential to robotize humanity and thus to deprive us of our heart and soul, okay? But as a complement to the best parts of human nature, creativity, empathy, and stewardship, it can also lift humanity into a new collective and moral consciousness based on a shared sense of destiny. It is incumbent on us all to make sure the latter prevails, okay? So this is telling you basically that they're going to dehumanize us by robotizing things, okay? Such as a lot of things that we're seeing now. When we become dependent on technology, okay, this will be a way for us to keep us distracted and to usher in this new demonic entity that they're planning to bring in. All right, when you go to the airports in Denver, Colorado, all right, a supporter of mine mentioned that those paintings that they had on the wall were covered up, all right, because it was drawing too much attention. All right, so when people are mentioning these things and pointing these things out, and they're putting certain signs and details in front of us, all right, and people are becoming aware, that this is why they say that these things are going to have a detrimental position on our lives in the future. All right. So now, a lot of you guys want to know what the new God will be. All right. You say, Jay, what is this new God you speak of? What is this new God that they're gonna usher in the new world order? Now, I did a lot of digging deep and trying to find out what this will represent, but I came up with two conclusions here. All right, the new God will be ushered in through the form of Prometheus. Okay, now I'm gonna break down who Prometheus was and the connection that he has to a lot of this mess that's going on right now. Okay, all right. So in Greek mythology, Prometheus, ancient Greek, possibly meaning forethought, is a titan god of fire. All right, Prometheus is best known for defying the gods by stealing fire from them and giving it to humanity in the form of technology. All right, knowledge, and more generally, civilization. In some versions of the myth, he is also credited with the creation of humanity from clay. Okay, so now some people would consider him, when they said this here, some people would consider him in the form of God. Okay, when you read the Bible and you see that man was created from clay, all right, this is the same depiction here. So this is why I say a lot of this stuff goes hand in hand with each other. All right, I'm not trying to aggravate or make anybody upset, but you know, a lot of people pick up these doctrines and don't read into it. You know what I'm saying? Prometheus is known for his intelligence and for being a champion of humankind, and is also generally seen as the author of human arts and sciences. He is sometimes presented as the father of Deucalion, the hero of the flood story. Okay? All right, so when we look at Prometheus here, okay, he's the person that basically is the god of fire. All right, he's the one that's created this technology. So if you've seen my transhumanism video, and I mentioned this, I said that the first stage of the industrial revolution of technology was through fire. Okay, this is how they created things, by using rocks and chiseling and creating carving and drawing and things of that nature. But Prometheus was the god that gave them that information. All right, so this is a form of, when we look at that. So when we look at the eye on the back of the dollar, it'd be safe to say that this eye on the back of the dollar is not actually the eye of Horus. It is the eye of Prometheus. Okay, now this new god that they plan on bringing in, okay, will be the depiction of the Antichrist. All right. Now at the United Nations building, okay, they have a statue that was recently built. Okay, I can't really pronounce the name of this thing here, but this thing was just recently built. All right, and it represents the beast. All right, it's representing the coming of the beast. All right, if you see here, it looks like a tiger. All right, but it has wings. All right. And this can represent a demon or a beast. Now, when you go past this building, it was said that some people felt some type of weakness energy when they walked past this statue, or if they went close to it. Now, I don't know. I've never been there. I've never touched this statue. I don't know anything about it, but I do know that it represents the coming of the Antichrist and the demon. Okay, this thing was just built there. All right, so we have to pay very close attention. I'm going to break it down, all right, of the meaning of a lot of these things that go hand in hand, all right? And I'm going to talk about this. All right, so now we're going to talk about the media's tactic to prepare us, all right, for the national reset, all right? So when I spoke on how they're going to manipulate us through technology and, do certain things like distract us, all right, and do that global reset to the point where we become dependent on them, all right? These are things that are going to take place in the next 10 to 20 years, all right? So we have to be prepared for this. We have to be prepared for this, y'all. These people are moving very fast, all right, because they know that their time is short, all right? So they're trying to get their tasks done as quick as possible. This is why they're forcing people to get these vaccines in them, all right? Because they know that their time is short. All right, so we'll start off with America Thayer. All right, America Thayer. All right. Now, America Thayer was a Hispanic woman from Minnesota. Okay, 55-year-old woman. All right, whose head was decapitated. All right, in Minnesota. They threw her body. All right, and I don't mean to sound gory with this, but they threw her body out of a Chrysler. When we look at the Chrysler symbol, we know that this represents the Pentagon. All right, so these two things go hand in hand. Everything is symbolized through the media. All right, when we look at the media, it's going to go over your head, but if you pay very close attention to this stuff, they're sending us signals. All right, and they're speaking to each other directly. All right. Also, she died at the age 55. Okay, 55. Now, some of you may not be familiar with the number 55, but the number 55 represents the delta. Okay, of the simple fact that when you use this hand signal, okay, when you put this hand sign in the air, okay, you're putting up 5 fingers on one hand and 5 fingers on the other. All right, so this is a representation of the delta. All right, the number 55 connects to the 10 points. All right, if we look at a triangle, right, it has three metric sides. Okay, 33 in the third, 33 in the third, 33 in the third. That comes out to 9, right? So the pyramid actually equals out to the number 9, and that 1% that's actually missing will be the eye of Prometheus, okay? That 1 percentile. Remember this, okay? That 1 percentile. All right? So America Thayer, right, is a representation of liberty, okay? Pay attention to her name. Her name is America. Now, this woman came over here from Colombia, I believe, okay, to get her citizenship in America. All right? And her head was decapitated, okay, and sad story, man, sad story. But when I connected the dots from this, man, I got really sick because I didn't think that this stuff went hand in hand, but it does. We're gonna talk about it. All right, so she was a 55-year-old woman from Colombia who came over here to get citizenship, and she changed her name purposely to America to get citizenship, all right? And they let her in, okay? And when she was let in here, they made an example out of her, all right? They the government sacrificed her, being that she manipulated the system, okay? It's a sick story, man. All right. So this also connects to Barack Obama now, all right? In July of 2021, Barack Obama met with the Deltas, okay, at the White House, all right? Which also connects to the Delta variant, all right, which is a strain of COVID-19, all right? And if we look at the testing site, all right, at Mills Pond Park, all right, it is also shaped as a pentagram, okay? Same symbol as the Chrysler symbol and as the Pentagon, all right? So pay very close attention how all of these things are connected. Now, I want to break down a depiction of, with America Thayer, with her head being decapitated, and the depiction of the head being decapitated in the media. All right. With the head being decapitated in the media, it is a symbolization of justice on those who will not worship this new God. All right. We see that in Revelations 24. Okay. Like I said, I'm not advocate of the Bible. Okay. But you have to study the Bible to understand how these demonic people work. All right. They are very clever in being blasphemous towards God. All right. Okay, so it says here in Revelations 24, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. See that? Beheaded. Okay, now what happened to American Thayer? She was beheaded. Okay, for the witnesses of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received a mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. All right. So when we see this, right, it's basically telling us that if we don't get down with the program, okay, you'll lose your head. All right. And I'm not trying to be funny with this, but we're going to break this down. Now, if we pay very close attention to the connection of America Thaya, all right, and her coming from Colombia, all right, and we connect that to the Statue of Liberty, all right, digging and doing some research, I found out that the Statue of Liberty is actually a representation of the goddess Columbia, okay? So when we see this sign, Columbia and the Statue of Liberty, these two go hand in hand. Also, the goddess Ishtar and also the goddess Amaris, all right? So there's also a connection there with those four entities, all right? So the Statue of Liberty, basically when we see this, all right, it's showing us that there will be heads getting chopped off, all right, for those that do not or will not go along with the program of worshiping this new God that they're going to bring in, all right? If we take a very close look at a few things that happened a few years ago, where Steve Harvey removed the crown, all right, from the Queen of Colombia, all right?
I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia.
Okay, so we seen that clip there, right? Another depiction of Colombia being beheaded, okay, is when Wendy Williams, all right, passed out on national TV, okay? When she took a fall, basically, okay? Now, during this time, when she passed out, right, Entertainment News did a segment on this and spoke on this. But I want you guys to pay very close attention to something here, all right? Wendy Williams, when she passed out, right, they did a 6-minute commercial break, all right? This was the longest commercial break in television history, all right? There was never a commercial break this long ever, all right? And if we pay attention to that number 6, all right, we know that that number is not a number of the people, okay? But pay very close attention here, all right, to this clip here where Wendy Williams is basically standing in front of the Delta sign, okay? So we see this connection here that these people are all a part of this organization, right? And they're all playing the media's game to manipulate us. This is why they get paid the big bucks, all right? They get paid the big bucks to manipulate the people, all right?
That was not a stunt. I'm overheated in my costume and I did pass out. But you know what? I'm a champ and I'm back.
Now, this new God that these people want to usher in, right? Some may say this will be the Antichrist, the birth of the devil, all right? Where all people will worship this one God and we will live on this earth with world peace. There will be no crime. There will be no problems. There will be nothing. This is why a lot of these entertainers are pushing the aspect of killing off hip-hop and removing negativity, and everything is snitching. Snitching is cool and all of these things. Now they want this world peace, okay? They want this world peace, which there's nothing wrong with having world peace. Okay, but this new God that they're going to usher in, right, is supposed to save humanity. It's going to be, all right, pretty much a duplication of God. Okay, it's going to mimic God. All right, it's going to be a fake God. It's not going to be a real God. It's going to be a devilish God where homosexuality will be accepted. Okay, where all of these things that mankind is not allowed to do will be accepting. All right? Now, some of you may say, well, Jay, what's wrong with that? You know, what's wrong with this new guy? I don't see anything wrong with it, but that's the whole aspect, okay? Because you're accepting the mark of the beast when you do this, all right? This God that they're bringing in is not a God that's going to get you to where you need to go, all right? This will be the devil in this rarest form, all right? So when we see what the United Nations is building, all right, and we pay attention to this eye on the back of the dollar, all right, we know that these are demonic forces that they're pushing on to the people, to the general public, to the masses, all right? And we have to believe and take total concentration and total knowledge and understand that they do not have our best interests at hand, all right? All right, so with that being said, I hope I touched on everything and broke this down in the simplest form. But if you guys want some questions on this or want some more topics that I could discuss on this prime factor here, leave some comments below. All right, and I appreciate everyone signing up to the Patreon and everyone that subscribed to my YouTube channel. You know I got y'all, man. Peace and blessings, and I hope everyone has a safe holiday. Peace.